Maxx Crosby and Myles Garrett are two of the top pass rushers in the NFL and reportedly could be on the move this offseason. But which is a better option for your team to trade for?
One. Two.
You asked for it and we delivered. It's Fan Friday and you, the fans, chose today's top pick for one of you. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let us know who you would rather trade for. Obviously, if you're a fan of a pass rush needy team, then you probably would take either of them. Both have proven to be game changers, but I don't think it's breaking news to say your team isn't going to acquire both. So with that in mind, who would be the better addition? Let's dive into it, starting with Myles Garrett. Garrett was the #1 overall pick in 2017 and has lived up to the hype in every way. He's collected 6 All-Pro selections, 1 Defensive Player of the Year last season, and has recorded double-digit sacks every year since his rookie season. And although he's been in the league since 2017, he's still just 29 years old with no signs of slowing down. He just wrapped up the 2024 campaign with 14 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and the 6th best pass rush win rate in the league. Oh, and he just set the NFL record with 4 consecutive seasons of at least 14 sacks. Now, I don't think Garrett is going to win another DPOY this time around, but Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski definitely thinks he should. Here he is before Week 18 talking about his elite pass rusher.
You guys would have to help me, because if he won the award last year, playing it the way he played last year, I don't see how he's not the best defensive player in the game this year. And, it depends to whatever metric you want to measure that by. If you want to go with the eye test, I think everybody would agree. I think if you want to go with the advanced metrics and look at the pressure numbers and the times that he's getting double teamed and slides are going his way, that's the piece to me that I think is so impressive and remarkable, is he's doing all this with getting all of the attention from the other team. It's like a degree of difficulty that he's able to lead the league in sacks and tackles for loss with all that attention. It should be impossible. So that just speaks to the caliber he's playing at. I don't have a vote in it, but I don't see how he's not the best defensive player in the National Football League again.
He's right, is he not? So why would the Browns want to trade the face of the franchise when he's still at his best? Well, the same reason as why Crosby could be traded. His team stinks, and Garrett doesn't fit the rebuilding timeline. And his contract is part of what makes his acquisition so enticing for any team looking to get to the QB more next year. He has 2 years left on his deal with a cap hit of about $20 million a year. That feels like nothing in today's NFL, especially for a player of his caliber. So yeah, I think he would provide an enormous boost to any unit he joins. But I think the same could be said about Maxx Crosby with the way he's played throughout this career, and especially this season. Before we get into that, here are the results of this week's poll question. Thanks to everyone who voted. Look out for another question on Monday. Now back to Crosby. He had a much different start to his career than Garrett. Crosby was selected in the 4th round of the 2019 draft by the Raiders, but proved he was the steal of the draft immediately. He collected 10 sacks his rookie year and forced 4 fumbles to put himself on the map, and it's been steady production ever since. He's racked up 2 All-Pro selections, had at least 7 sacks in each season, and has only missed 5 games throughout his entire career. Those 5 games all came this past season, however, but he still managed to collect 7.5 sacks and post the 9th best pass rush win rate. He's absolutely one of the few premier pass rushers in the league, and he'll be just 28 years old next season. And just like Garrett, his coaches love him. He's what Raiders defensive coordinator Patrick Graham said earlier this season when asked how having a player of his caliber affects his play calling.
First, it affects my mood every day. I mean, his energy is infectious. He strives. It affects my mood in terms of that. Just got to make sure you match his energy with the juice. 2 is a challenge, in terms of stimulating mentally, because someone that good, someone that smart, someone that works that hard at it, I don't want to bore him. 2, I got to have answers for him. 3, I got to find ways to keep it going, because he is a game wrecker, figure out ways to single him up, to create those advantages for us. So, emotionally, mentally, and then in terms of play calling, that's the last thing on my mind in terms of his influence there. But I get is more, it's just such a pleasure to be around him in terms of whether it's professional growth, my emotional growth, leadership, in terms of learning how to, deal with a play, how to work with a player of that caliber. I couldn't be more thankful of the fact that in the last 3 years he's been in my life and how he's affected me. He's right there on my Mount Rushmore of players that I've learned from in this league that have made me a better player, better man, a better coach, and a better man. So I'm real appreciative of that. But the play calling part would be the last thing.
Yeah, I'd take a guy like him on my team any day of the week. He's got 2 more years and about $53 million left on his deal, so whoever gets him knows they'll have him for more than just a rental. But if I had to choose between Crosby and Garrett, it's a really close call, obviously. Crosby is younger, but he's more expensive and is coming off his first injury-riddled season, so I have to take Myles Garrett. In my eyes, he's simply been the better player over his career, and he somehow has a cheaper contract than Crosby. Of course, it's going to take a massive trade package to pry him out of Cleveland, but the time for the team to move on from him is now. He's still got plenty left in the tank and could take your team from a fringe playoff contender to a Super Bowl favorite. And another star who could be on the move is Dolphins receiver Tyreek Hill. For more on how he would fit perfectly with the Denver Broncos, check out this past episode of Point of View. Enjoy the weekend. We hope to see you again next week.